Hello my loves, welcome back to like the third video for the Endo Diaries. I'm aware I haven't uploaded one in about 2 weeks, and this is going to be on week 2 and 3. A lot has happened, a lot has unfolded. I'm actually going in for surgery tomorrow and not in another 4 weeks, so that will be all for the next video. But I was always going to bundle week 2 and 3 in together, just with my own time and everything that's going on in our lives, because we finally got a house to move to, so we're both really excited about that. But it's kind of that idea of like, if I could get 2 and 3, and then I was hoping to get like a few other weeks in, but oops, here we are. So you're gonna get just my pre and then my post-op at this point. We move, we are flexible, we are adjusted, it's all good. But yeah, my week 2 went really well. Again, everything kind of very much stayed the same except the fact that I actually got my period. So I ended up getting my period earlier than expected, about 6 days early, which is fine. I'm always up for adjustment, and I kind of knew by how my cycle had gone and when I ovulated that it was going to come a fair bit earlier than it should have, or that was originally forecast. And if I'm really honest with you, like, it came on the Monday or the Tuesday, and it wasn't that painful. It was at the beginning, as it always is, but I was completely dead that weekend beforehand. Like, the Saturday and Sunday I could barely move. I was just so tired. My body didn't really want to do anything. I still managed to get to the gym, but that was it. Like, I would gym and that was it for the day. Come home, shower, get into bed or sit by the fire. And I really felt like I needed that. We've had a lot on the last few months with the wedding, traveling, house hunting, and all the various things that, like, I just knew my body was like, it's time we just slow down. So I really sat with that. I really let it happen. I had some cacao, I was journaling, I was meditating and visualizing on how I want this surgery to go and what it truly means and what I need to release in all of this. And when your period comes, ladies, what I would really say is that if you can really get deeply in touch with yourself and sit in silence and allow yourself to feel into what is this period releasing for you, because we're all about the physical. I love the physical body. I'm a very body-led person, but we also sometimes forget about like the energetics of things and what things can mean for us on like an emotional level as well, and what we're letting go of. And the period, your period, is a real reflection of what you're letting go of. Like, what are you letting go of at this time? What are you no longer around for, and what do you no longer want to settle for, effectively? And when we feel into that, a lot can come up. And for me, it's like there's always been this massive feminine wound from various places in my life, and this feminine wound is like, when I mean it is louder than ever in the last few weeks, it makes sense as to why my endometriosis surgery is coming now. And it's kicked off this like emotional piece of like having to finally look at it once and for all and being like, I'm done now. I'm finished with allowing these things to impact me the way that they do. And you know, it's coming up, it's really sad. There's a lot of inner child work coming up around, you know, feeling unsafe. Who am I without the identity of endometriosis? Who am I if I let this go? But also looking at the root causes to why endometriosis within my life for so long was, I don't want to say the word convenient, but it was a part of my life that actually, how do I say this, benefited me in certain ways. So like, one of the ways it would have benefited me to have endo was that, like, the only time we were ever really allowed to stay at home when we were kids is if we were really, really, really sick, and I mean incredibly ill. And my period was one of those. I also, in a household of 5 kids, you got more attention when something like that happened. And like, you know, it's really hard to admit these things, but actually it's really important that we do. And it was all unconscious. I wasn't doing it in a malicious way. It's just, that's how it manifested in my body when I was feeling like I wasn't being seen and heard. When I felt like, you know, maybe because I was very much the eldest, I was the one who could look after myself, I was quite independent, that, you know, it's not that I was forgotten about, but sometimes it felt like I was, and that this was a way for me to connect with, you know, my mum effectively, because she would be the one who would come and get me, and I would have extra time with her without other kids and stuff around. So, you know, again, not her fault, but it's just something that obviously manifested through this feeling that I obviously had. So being able to let go of that and be like, well, who am I going to be? And I think, you know, endometriosis, because I cycle sync, has provided me with so much permission to slow down around my period now and to be looked after. Even though I know my husband's still going to look after me, and I know he's still going to be there for me regardless of whether I have endometriosis or not, he knows a period is a period. I do feel excuse me, I do feel like, oh, but what if that's all taken away from me? And that was really something, and something I'm still kind of looking at, and I'm being like, wow, like, it has become such a massive part of the permission that I provided to myself around my period, and letting these aspects go for myself. Sorry, I need to get some water. But yeah, and it's really interesting when you actually sit with this. And I know that's very triggering to a lot of people of like, oh, I didn't give myself endometriosis, but it's like, no. I do think it's obviously an immune condition, but it comes from something stressing the immune system out. And when we identify with it and it gives us something on that level, like, we can't not look at that. Because what if you did heal it in the morning? What if you went in, they removed all the endometriosis, and they're like, that's never coming back again? Or you went into your second laparoscopy and they were like, it's gone. I don't know what you've done, but it's gone. Like, what part of your identity would have to die? What part of the things that you would have to look at? What changes for you if that is the case? And that is really important. And settling my nervous system into that too, of like, I get to release whatever I need around my endometriosis, like whatever emotionally needs to come up, I'm more than happy to release, and to ensure that it is cleared for the last time for me, and really letting go of that energetic. And also, where am I not feeling safe to lean into my feminine or be myself effectively, be my authentic self? Where am I not speaking my truth? So it's been all really interesting over the last few weeks. And again, even around, and then obviously coming through my period, and my week last week was all over the place, and it's fine because we're used to it, we just work around it. I found last week, coming into my follicular phase and finishing off my period, I had a lot of dance on. I was a lot more sociable last week. We had a gig on Friday night, but I did actually feel that my energy took a little bit more time to come back this time in my follicular phase, which is the first week after your period. And yeah, I was feeling okay in energy, but just with work, with life, with everything going on, I managed to get to the gym and I was feeling a lot stronger. My body was still quite tender. Again, not usually how I've been over the last few months or year or so when I get into that phase, but very much just listening to myself. And yeah, I enjoyed moving. I haven't moved as much as I'd want to over the last few weeks, particularly now with the surgery happening, and that's not to do with weight loss or anything. It's actually just like to keep my lymphatic system moving and make sure it's optimal. But I'm trusting that this is coming. Well, I know why this is coming right now. And this week I have dealt with a lot of rage. So it's coming from all angles. It's not just one thing, but the rage again was at like this feminine piece within myself, but also during a breathwork session around my rage, what happened was I tried to scream. So I'm very good at like letting myself be vocal when I'm angry, but not at anyone, like coming into a room, doing some breath work and letting myself scream. But one of my biggest fears, I have nightmares of all the time, is that something's happening to me and I go to scream and no sound comes out. My body reacts but no sound comes out. And effectively that's what happened in the breath work. And I started trying to scream. Nothing happened. My body went into screaming, but no noise came out. And I just had to let that be what it was and moving through. And what I really figured, or what came through to me when I sat with it afterwards, was like, I have suppressed how I truly want to react with the pain that I have been in. I have suppressed aspects of my own rage, my own frustration around what I have. Because yes, while I have the self-awareness, yes, while I've been doing the work, yes, I know I allowed things to get out of hand, there is a part of me that's still so fucking angry over it all. But also the fact that, you know, I can't explain to people at times where the pain has been so bad that it's brought me to my knees, and all I want to do is literally burn the fucking world down. Like, I want to go into full, deep, red rage. And it's not at somebody. I just want to fucking lose it. I just want to scream the house down. I just want to let it happen. And it's been me who suppressed myself. I'm very aware with my husband if I say, maybe not at 2 o'clock in the morning, but if I say to him, like, look, I just need space, I need to go and like really let this out, like stick some headphones in or whatever you need to do, go out. If you don't want to hear it, because for him, he just wants to protect me and make sure I'm okay. And I never did that for myself. I never let myself really just have at it. And whereas I've expressed it in ways like I might whinge or whine, which I don't do much anymore, but that used to be how I used to do it, or whimper. Apparently I still do it sometimes in my sleep. But I don't do it, like, I've got very good at using my voice and asking for what I want and, you know, that kind of stuff. But like, there was a time where I would do that. That was about it. And rather than actually just having my full expression of like, this fucking hurts, I'm so angry and I'm so frustrated right now, and all I want to do is just rip the world apart. And I never really expressed that to myself or anyone else for that matter. And also, like, again, you can't be screaming the house down when you're living with a family of 5. Like, that's just not, it's not optimal. Also, feminine rage was completely feared there too, so that also didn't help. But it really came through for me, that, and it was like, your anger around this gets to be expressed. You get to get a pillow and just fucking beat the crap out of a chair, or you get to scream, or you get to do it in whatever way feels good for your body. But I needed to get it out. And it's interesting because I released that over the last 2 days, and then I got a phone call today to be like, do you want to come in? And I was like, sure. So for all my manifesting buddies out there, all my little girls out there who likes to manifest and likes to crystals and their energy work, like, that's what a quantum leap looks like. That's it right there. It didn't just happen. I had to shift something within in myself to be like, I'm actually okay to be ready to do this right now. I've done enough of the emotional work. I know what's going on. So yeah, it's been really interesting. Like, as well, like, my appetite has been a bit weird. But we're getting protein and good fats in, so that's right now, that's what it matters. My bowels haven't been moving properly, so I've been trying to up my fiber, which is something I'm more worried about coming out the other side of the surgery more than anything else, just because anesthetic and stuff can really fuck with that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting now to go through this and be a little bit mindful of what I'm going to do. But yeah, week 2 and 3 were pretty chill, pretty similar, just doing a lot. And if anybody heard me talking about cycle syncing, is like, I'd really like to know how to do that, or particularly from an endo girly, I tend to keep it quite simple, right? Anyone can use my method. I do actually have a free guide on my website in the link below, or I also have podcast episodes that I've literally just released all about the different phases. I think so far I have the menstrual phase, so your period, the week of your period, your follicular and ovulation will be out this week, and then luteal phase will be out the following week. And I am going to do one on actual endometriosis and helping to manage that, but I like to keep shit simple, so it's all really the same stuff, just extra things you have to be cautious about. But I won't do those for a few weeks, because with this and the podcast talking about periods and endometriosis, I'd like to give my audience a little bit of a break, and talk about something different and some other topics that have been coming up for me. But yeah, I'm really glad you're following me along this journey. It's about 4 weeks shorter than I thought it would be, so here we are. But we move, and to be honest, I'm really proud of myself. Something like this would have thrown me a year ago. Like, sure, I'm like, oh, I need to pack a bag, and I've been running around trying to find a night dress that you can button down so it's easier to get in and out of. But overall, this would have completely sent me into an absolute tizzy. Like, I wouldn't be going to dance tonight, I wouldn't be doing all the things that I enjoy doing, I wouldn't have had time to sit down for a cup of tea. Like, I'd have been just so worked up over it all. But actually, I've tried to keep myself as calm as possible, and I'm not gonna lie, like, there has been moments, right? I very much struggle with going under, but I know I'm gonna be okay. I've done it before, and there's nothing to be worried about. But you know, the brain will do what it'll do, try and keep me safe, because that's what it's trying to do when it's trying to freak you out about it. It's like, oh, I'm trying to keep you safe because I'm scared you're gonna die. I'm not, like, but it's very important that, like, I give myself kudos for the fact that, like, I was able to just go, yeah, sure, let me ask work were cool with it. Let me ask Liam, because, you know, he has to drop and collect me, and also we're in the middle of a move, so, you know, I don't do things by halves. And for him to go, yeah, okay, let's do this, and I was like, cool, amazing. And I wasn't stressed by it. It kind of works for me. I can deal with it from now. And sure, we're moving, but, like, I should be back on my feet properly in the next few weeks, or even the next few days. And I mean, if he has to do the heavy lifting, I know he can. We have some beautiful friends that can always help us if we need it, and yeah, we're just not going to stress about it. We're going to handle it. It'll be fine. And that's what he said to me, and I'm like, sure, cool, let's do this. So yeah, I will have an update for you guys. I might even do a little one in the morning. I have to fast beforehand, and then I will kind of get on to you guys after I'm kind of recovering. So yeah, thank you all for listening. If you have any questions or you want to chat to me about something, you're more than welcome to send me an email or pop it in the comments below.